Hi everyone and welcome to a Theme Park Worldwide News Update. Now, Lightwater Valley Theme Park is located in Ripon, North Yorkshire, here in the United Kingdom, and opened back in 1969. It was announced yesterday in a press release that the park has now been sold to new owners. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing all of the details, talking about the facts that we know, and also sharing a little bit about what I think we can expect from this announcement and changes at the park in the future. But before I talk all about the new owners, just want to talk about the previous owners of the park, because Livingstone Leisure only actually purchased Lightwater Valley in 2017, and we've seen over the past few years them start to make quite a few changes. Now, Livingstone Leisure, they own Flambard's theme park down in Cornwall, popular family theme park. We went there last year, had a fantastic time, and of course Lightwater Valley was kind of like the sister park to Flambard's between 2017 and up to this announcement yesterday. So they've actually made quite a few changes to Lightwater Valley over the past few years. They closed the Falconry Centre, the shopping village was closed, and then more recently they started to remove some rides from the park. The Rapids went, along with that Raptor Attack was sold, Eagle's Claw, that was put up for sale. It has still been operating at the park this year, but it was put up for sale. And of course the Ultimate, the longest roller coaster in Europe that opened back in 1991, and that was closed, and we didn't know when it was going to be reopening. It stayed closed last year, 2020, and into 2021 it's also standing but not operating, SBNO as it's called in the industry. So yeah, there's been some really interesting decisions and some bad decisions. I mean, the Ultimate is a big iconic ride for that park, but they did say that it could open in the future, but it may not. So they've kind of kept very quiet about it. So who knows what the future for that ride could be now. However, fingers crossed it could be more positive. So yes, it has now been sold. Even though Livingstone Leisure only purchased it in 2017, it's now owned by the Brighton Pier Group. Now, the Brighton Pier Group, the clue is in the name really to what they already own. They of course own the beautiful Brighton Palace Pier, which is stunning. And in fact, we're going to be visiting there in just a few weeks' time again. We filmed the vlog a few years ago and not been back since, so I'm looking forward to getting there. They've got a nice ride selection. There's a log flume, and there's a couple of coasters on there. Along with that as well, there's a haunted house, there's an air race, and since they took over the pier, they've done a lot of work and a lot of regeneration projects on there. So that's promising for the future of Lightwater Valley. Along with that, it's not just the pier they own. They own various different heavily themed adventure golf courses throughout the country, and also some bars as well. So nothing quite the size of Lightwater Valley. This will certainly be their biggest asset, but this is really exciting times. The fact that the park have got somebody fresh coming in. I was quite up for Livingstone Leisure, having the park and redeveloping things and upgrading it, but all we seem to have had over the past few years are ride removals and not really much going in. I know this year they've put in a safari themed area for families, and that is good to see, and we will be heading down there this summer to check it out. However, I do feel like they've made some bad decisions at the park, especially with the SBNO Ultimate that there is out at the moment. Such a big iconic ride, and the second longest roller coaster in the world and the longest in Europe, standing but not operating. So yeah, the Brighton Pier Group, let's see what the future could hold for the park. Like I say, a number of old thrill rides have been retired. Raptor Attack's long gone. That's going to be opening up abroad, that's long gone from the park. However, could this be the start of a really bright and positive future for Lightwater Valley? I'd like to think so. You only go back maybe 5 or 6 years where the park seemed to be doing really well still. I know it wasn't getting constant investments, but the rides they had were open. They had a Mondale Top Scan that went out, but it got replaced, and they put Apollo in, a nice little chair swing. So things were coming in and out, but they were getting replaced. Over the past couple of years, we've not seen that. Things like the Halloween event that they've done over the years, the fireworks, have been very popular and awesome events, but it's just seemed like we've not heard much about these big events and stuff. And I know we've had the pandemic, and that leads me on to my next thing I want to talk about. Livingstone Leisure only owning Lightwater Valley for a short period of time. None of us could have predicted that the COVID-19 pandemic was going to come. Livingstone Leisure purchased that in 2017, and they probably had quite big plans for the park. And then of course, within a couple of years, we had the lockdowns, and the past year and a half has been a nightmare really for everyone, hasn't it? And especially for the amusement and leisure industry with these theme parks. So they couldn't have predicted that happening. Nobody could. So the fact that that has happened, the pandemic's probably had a bad effect on Livingstone Leisure, so they've decided to sell up and of course sell it on to the Brighton Pier Group. So yeah, as much as it's probably sad for them, I do feel like for this park's future it could be a really good thing, because if we read read this statement here. This has come from the official press release that they've actually, the new owners have put out there. They've said they want to develop Lightwater Valley into a premier amusement destination. That's a good sign. And this is the really exciting bit. They've said they've got extensive space for long-term growth. We all know that. If you check out our past vlogs from Lightwater Valley, went last year, you'll know that, you know, the park is big. It's got a lot of space, lots of room for development. The area where the Ultimate is, there's so much space in the middle of that ride that could be developed. So if the money is there to spend, then this place could be thriving within a few years, which I really hope so. But yeah, that's all I've got to share on it at the moment. We might hear more in the near few days. Of course, this has come from an official press statement that was sent out to the press, newspapers, and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's all we know so far. But yeah, it's the Brighton Pier Group that have took over Lightwater Valley Theme Park. They've purchased the park, and yeah, we could be seeing some big changes. They, you know, have gone straight in there and said there's room for development. We want to push that. So I'm excited by that. I'm sure a lot of you are too. And of course, here at Theme Park Worldwide, as always, we'll keep you updated on what's going on with the theme parks, both in our news updates and the vlogs. We're going to be going to Brighton Palace Pier in the next few weeks. That was planned prior to this announcement anyway, so we'll be going back there. And also, over the summer, we'll be going to Lightwater Valley to check out their new area. So, you know, we're going to be going to both of them parks, so we might get a bit of an idea, find out a bit more information about what could be happening. But let's hope that the future of the Ultimate could be secure. I mean, yes, it's an older ride, 1991, but it's iconic. It's a big ride for them. It's still standing there, not operating. Fingers crossed these new owners can get in there and think, you know what, why have we got this roller coaster just sat there doing nothing? Let's spend a bit of money on it to get it operational again. It's going to cost a bit because it's been sat there for the best part of 2 years, but let's spend the money and let's get that asset open, advertise it, and people get down there and flock to the park again, and then they can invest in future investments. I really hope so. But yeah, fingers crossed. Let me know your thoughts down below in the video comments. That's the sale of Lightwater Valley Theme Park in Ripon, North Yorkshire, and let's see what happens for the future of the park. I wish them every success, I really do, and of course we'll be following very closely any developments in the coming years at Lightwater Valley. That leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video.